Can I ask something of the group here? Would you guys think that ad sort of depicts the emptiness of conservative marketing today? And what I mean is this: if you look at the GOP convention, for instance, the presidential convention and so forth, when we roll out our best speakers, and we go out of our way to have so many people of color and women and all this kind of stuff. Now, I think that's great, and I happen to love a lot of those speakers. But we did. There was. Here's what I mean. There's such an emphasis on demonstrating diversity, and very little emphasis on converting people to our ideas. None of it. We depict our ideas. We list them off in bullet points over and over and over, and every speaker does the same thing. But nobody is convincing anybody. Nobody is.
Is that the function of a conservative or Republican convention, though? I can see your point on a lot of other communications, but not for a conservative convention.
No, I understand it's a rah-rah time, but also it is the time when we are going to get the biggest play and the biggest audience and people watching us. We have to remember, as conservatives, we're generally not watched. And so I would think that it just shows this ad was like the convention. We had all kinds of faces and things, and no proof that anybody should agree with us on anything.
I agree with Andy that it should, in a way, be a time for conservatives to get their message out. And that's what put Obama on the stage, was his speech at a Democratic convention. People who don't usually pay attention to politics pay more attention to a convention, I think, than they normally would. I think that it is a stage to convert some people. Yeah, you're speaking to your friends and your supporters and trying to get them excited and drum up support, but I think you're also trying to speak to people who are more apolitical, who it's election time, I need to pay attention for a few weeks to decide who to vote for, that kind of thing.
Yes and no. Yes and no. If you are on the left and you are building a convention, you are going to be reaching as many people with as much diversity of, little, what is the word I'm looking for, little single issues that move people, much the way that some other communication we're going to talk about tries to do. But at the same time, when you are running, say, on the left, when you are a Democrat candidate for president, you can show some particularly, you can show some important types of diversity that resonate with people that have those themes of equality, really basic themes that the left runs on. Environment, positives, good. It goes back to that ACE article that we brought up a couple of weeks ago that Leslie talked about saying things are good things and the left's good things, and how people respond to the uses that the left uses for things like equality and diversity and environmental awareness and whatever. That's easier to sell from the left than it is from the right. And you will not find an open process on the right. You will not find a candidate willing to be embracing of people and of constituencies from that stage, because the right, the base, the people in the room would kill them.
Fisher, remember at the convention, well, which convention am I thinking, where we saw Ben Carson? That was at the Western Summit, I'm sorry. We saw all kinds of speakers, okay? And I got to be honest, until this point, I always loved Ben Carson. I thought he'd be terrific. I had never taken him seriously. I thought he was, it was basically a fad, a phenomenon, a bunch of people who are just trying to rally him up, right? And then I saw him speak, and here was the big difference. All the other speakers were rah-rah. All the other speakers were rah-rah, let's go get them, and we can do this, and this and that and the other. Ben Carson was the opposite. All he did was calmly walk through issue after issue after issue, and not only say what our position is, but why, and why people should like it. It was, you would think it was the most boring professorial thing in the world. It blew people's minds. They were coming out of their seats. They were coming out of their skin. They were blown away. I was blown away. Spectacular. It was the best speech I've seen in years. And it wasn't rah-rah. It was showing people how to win others to us.
Republicans are people too didn't have Republicans in it.